I am now giving you the floor.
Yes, the session will be recorded, so all the details
Yeah.
will be assigned in this session. Here you can go back to that, okay? Because
yeah, thank you. And people are joining. People are joining. Maybe within 5 minutes or so, some more people will join. No problem. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So I'm not gonna start until they join all because the first part
yeah, this is Mr. Fahim. He's also an architect. Mr. Fahim, you can see. Well, one architect member also joined, Mr. Fahim.
Mr. Fahim Alam. Hello, Mr. Fahim. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you. I am really excited to see the contents and learning opportunities here. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. Today's session is gonna be like quite general about the beam, and then we're gonna present the architectural part. So the first part that I'm gonna present is gonna be so important. That's why I want everybody. I want everybody to be present. So we're gonna start, and then maybe in some parts I'm gonna move a little bit fast. So it's the session is recording right now. So don't worry about seeing a lot of informations at the same time, because we're gonna send you all the recordings later. Okay.
Yeah, that will be fine. Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, just tell me when everybody's here to start, or when I can start.
I think this is 4:04, so I think within a couple of minutes, I think you can start.
Okay, at 12:06, I'm gonna start in 2 minutes. Okay.
Yeah. So you can give a small introduction about yourself and Mr. Raul and everything. Yeah.
Yes,
this
I am Bekir, for the moment based in Spain. I am a civil engineer who's working in the international support department in 𝐒𝐈, and now I support the commercial department. Raul is one of our members, and Antonio too, and one of our developers, like market developers members. Okay, and he's responsible for different countries to manage the software there. Okay, 𝐒𝐈 is multi-sectors software for the construction of the buildings, like from the beginning to the end. It contains all the different parts. That's what I want to present in the beginning of the session. Like in the beginning, I want you to understand that the different softwares, they are different softwares, not a lot, but we have several softwares so that take care of different parts of the building. That's why I asked you before in the group which specialities are going to be present today, because today I'm going to start with the architectural part, but maybe later in the next sessions, we're going to see other parts as the mechanical electricity plumbing, the MEP part, or maybe the structural part, or the management, because we care about all the building. Okay, so the work will be complete with the 𝐒𝐈. We are going to understand how we are going to connect with each other between the different sectors, how the architect going to connect with the engineers, and the other side, engineers with architect, how we can work in the different projects in the same time. Okay, one project or one building can be done by 3, 4, or even 10 persons at the same time. So we are going to see all those parts. Okay, so let us start now. Raúl, please, if you can silenciar a los miembros. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, we can. Yes.
Okay, so So 𝐒𝐈, as I said before, is a company which this year celebrated for 40 years of birth. Okay, it was founded in 1983, and it have a lot of disciplines, as I was saying, to finish all the engineering work and all the study work of a building. Okay, starting, if you want, by the architectural part. Okay, it have the structural part, the MEP part, which contains the plumbing and the wastewater part, protection, fire protection, electrical, HVAC systems, telecommunications, and even we have the project management. All those are a very advanced tools was developed during the years, okay? And now on Spain, for example, on Europe and South America and Asia, it's a very common softwares, and it's very used, okay? So today we are going to focus on the architectural part, and maybe a little bit in the interoperability. We are going to see how we can use the cloud that we have, how we are going to communicate between the different softwares. And of course, I want to mention that we are open to the other softwares. So if you have a project, for example, from AutoCAD, from Revit, you can upload it to our softwares and work with them, okay? And we can even use files from other softwares using our small software IFC uploader, okay? So all of them, all those tools that I am talking about, you can find them here, that we call BIM Server Center Store or the library. You can see here, we have a bunch of free softwares, okay? So all those softwares are done to help or to add the additional work to the engineering for the construction for the buildings, okay? So today we are going to see, as I said, the architectural part, okay? For the architecture, if I go back here to the architectural part, we are going to see what we call the 𝐒𝐈 essentials, okay? The 𝐒𝐈 essentials are a bunch of softwares that we give for free, because the main or the principal function of 𝐒𝐈 softwares is calculating and analyzing the different parts of the building, as the plumbing, as the structure, as the electricity, as the fire protection pipes and installations. So we analyze, we calculate, we give reports. So that's the other part, what you're gonna need. Okay, we give drawings and we give engineering results. But the architectural part for us is done for free. So without purchasing any software, you can directly go to Google and write the store. Okay, store in server center. Okay, you can go from here to the first link. Okay, and then you can change the language here to English. And then, for example, for the essential softwares that I was talking about, the architectural software, which are those ones here: 𝐒𝐈 Architecture, OpenBIM Layout, OpenBIM Site, Analytical Model, and Construction Systems. We are going to see them in a brief way. You can get in, or you can click on the link, okay, and you can download. But to download it, you have to create an account, okay? If you download it here, he asks you for an account. So you go to register here, and then you can just create an account for free, okay? You just need your name, surname, email, password, and register, okay? So after creating the account, you can just download it. For here, for example, I'm going to log in with my account, okay? So you can from here go back to the store, for example, from this part, going to 𝐒𝐈 Architecture, and then you can download from here, okay? So you click on download, and then you download the software, okay? I'm going to stop this one. Or you can, from this main page, you can go to the application website, okay, for the 𝐒𝐈 Architecture, and you will find all the all the learning resources. For example, let us go back here to the start. And let us see, for example, the OpenBeam site or the OpenBeam layout, or here the construction system. So we are going to see every software, what it do. If you go to the application website, we will find here the learning resources. And we will find all the videos, tutorials, webinars, user manuals, other reports and documents. So the tools that you're gonna need to just learn more and more about the software. I think it changed a little bit about the SAIP architecture because we have special lessons for SAIP architecture. Raul later will send you the link, so you will have a bunch of 20 videos, like we call short, quick views to understand the different functions of the software. Okay. So this is in general what the company have. Okay, what SAIP have. So let us start from here by seeing the different softwares. First software that you're gonna see is SAIP architecture, which let us or make us see or create the buildings, the architectural parts of the buildings. Okay, as you can see here, this example was created with SAIP architecture. If I go from here to see the internal parts, for example, we can see that all the parts in the building, even the furniture, the walls, the doors, the stairs, the chairs, the slabs, the columns, all the parts was created only with this free software, SAIP architecture. Before creating it with SAIP architecture, I want just to put it quite transparent to see the different parts. Okay, to see even from inside. Okay, so before creating the building, you have three main windows here. Okay, we have the sketching part, and then we have the architectural part, and then we have another optional part, which is furniture. But the most important parts are those ones. Okay, the sketching and the architectural. So from the sketching part, you just can draw here, put some drawings and some shapes as the lines, as the quadrilaterals, as the circles. For example, as a quadrilateral, you can create any shape you want. If you are with your colleague or with someone, you can just create the elements, create the 3D of them. You can create different shapes. Okay, so you will be free to create whatever you want. Okay, and this part of sketching is only, as its name is, only to draw, and then you will have the possibility to, above those drawings, for example, or directly, to create the constructive elements. So from here, as in this part, you can create the walls. Okay, for example, I can create directly a wall from here. It's very easy to handle, as you can see now. Okay, you can work directly on the 3D view, or you can create your views. You can work, for example, let me delete this one here. You can work, for example, on elevations. You can work on floors. You can work on sections, or you can work on 3D view. It's depending to how you want to manage your work. Okay, so here you can create from this button the type of view that you want. Okay, and you can start, for example, here I go to the view of the loft. For example, you can see here that I have the view of the ground floor. Okay, and I can work in 2D, or on holding the button I can see only the ground floor, or I can see only the loft or the lounge floor, for example. Okay, I can see the different floors here, or I can work on elevations, as you can see now. Okay, except that you can start with any AutoCAD plan, any DXF, any DWG. Okay, so you go to this button here that you can find in all the softwares, and you click on it, and you can add a new file. You can see here that I can add DXF, DWGs as the AutoCAD plans, for example, the CAD plans. I can add DWF files, and I can add even images or photos in all their formats, JPG, JPG, BMP. In some other softwares, we will have the possibility even to add PDF files, okay, to workable, okay? And then after adding those files, let us, for example, see this file here. After adding the file, you will see here the different layers, okay? After seeing the layers, you can control here the origin of the points. You can put the coordinate 0, 0, 0, so to know where your building is going to start. And you can even fix the scale of the template by putting the known distance. For example, if you are sure that the distance from this point to this point is 5 meters, so you click on here from this one to this one, and then you put the known distance to adjust the scale of the template, 5 meters, for example. And by this order, the scale will be adjusted automatically. Okay? So it's a very useful tool to start drawing your building with AutoCAD plan, of course, if you want. And then you will have the object snap, so you can activate it to make it very easy to move between the different points on the plan or on the drawing that you upload, okay? So let us go back to the 3D view here. Let us see the different shapes that you can make. As I said before, you can make walls, you can make curtain walls, you can make levers, you can make railings, and you can create columns, as you can see here. Let me just go back here to the normal view, okay? You can see here, I can select any element, and I can see on the right of my screen the information about it, okay? Here, I have the creation of the floor slabs, of the suspended ceilings, of the slope formations, the roof tiles, and even beams, okay? So from the floor slabs, of course, you can create them as floor slabs. You can create them as intermediate floor slabs, external floor slabs, as screed, or as a roof, okay? We have different ways to create, how to create the different slabs, okay? Even for the walls, we have different parts, different ways to create. By surface area, if you already did the sketching, you can create the walls above those sketching, or you can create them by points. You just put 3 points, or you just create them simply by polyline, as we did before. Okay, of course, here you will have different tools depending to the layers, depending to the elevations. You can work on 2D mode, or you can work on 3D mode. Okay, after creating the walls here, of course, you will have intersection solutions. So the building will be automatically solved if you create, for example, if the wall is over dimensioned from here, you can automatically solve those problems, okay? So you will have the freedom to create however you want, and then you can just solve the different sub-dimensions. Of course, here you have different tools for the addition. You can create spaces. Of course, it's very important to create spaces. For example, here, if I go back to this view, I can separate my spaces. As you can see here, I have kitchen, I have dining room, okay? I have ante room, bathroom. So all of those are created on the spaces. Of course, for the space, you can put some different parameters, and the spaces will be very important when we are going to export this model to use it in the other software. How? Working on BIM in general is building information modeling is a platform, or is a sector where it's very important to connect the different persons together, the architect, the engineer. for example, okay? So the architect here is going to create the different spaces. And the engineer, for example, the mechanical engineer is going to create the HVAC part. He's going to create I don't know, the air conditioning, for example, the climatization or the heating. So some spaces have different characteristics or different demand for heating more than others. So all those informations can be ready for him. Even for the heating, he's going to need different layers of the technical characteristics for the walls. Okay, so all those informations, all the different layers, all the installations, all the informations can be done with our architectural part, okay, and then can be exported to the engineer. We are going to see how. I was talking about site architecture. I was showing you now site architecture, but site architecture is only the first step or one of the different steps that you can give to the engineer. How? You can only start by site architecture by creating the building and then sending it to the engineer. Or you can use other softwares to give more informations and more layers to your building so the engineer can use. Okay, we are going to see those different or other parts that we can make with the architectural suite that we have here. Okay, so this is our 3D view of the building. Now we are going to see how to connect our building to the cloud. Okay, we already created an account here on the Beam Server Center. Okay, we have an account. Okay, this is the account on my name. Okay, and then after creating an account, you can download the site architecture and the other software, the site essentials, and then you go here to update. In every software, you can find the Beam Server Center icons. You go to update. You go, for example, to the project selection. Okay, so here in the project selection, you will see your connection here or your account here, and you will see those two buttons. So the first thing to do is going to log in. Okay, if you log in, for example, here, if you have your account already created, and then you have per defect navigator, just click on allow, and then you go out, and then your account will be connected automatically. Okay, and then you can create a new project because you are going to start with the project from site architecture, for example, but you can start from wherever you want. You create a new project. For example, let us call it example university. Okay, we put the type of project, for example, here educational. The view options visible to all users or not visible, and here we can put the collaboration requests if they are allowable or not. Okay, we can open or close the collaboration requests. In this case, I'm going to leave it open so anybody can send me a request to collaborate in my project, to modify my projects, or I can just, I want to put project for my own, and I can export it to the cloud anytime just for the storage. But of course, other important thing to mention, you can work 100% outside the cloud. It's not a mandatory part that you need to do for every project, okay? So now I'm going to accept. Now I see that I have example university, my project name, okay? So I'm going now to share the thing that I did. Let's imagine that I finish modeling this building, or I did a part from the building, or in any point I want, I can share the project from here. Of course, I can put a name of it. Okay, it's the architectural part. It's just for architecture. So the name of this part, you will see it later on the list of the different disciplines that we have. We have, for example, here architecture discipline. We can have later site discipline. We will see different disciplines. Okay, and we accept. And accepting, so the software will start sharing the information to the cloud, okay? So while the software is sharing now, we are going to see the second part. Sorry, just a moment. We are going to see here the construction system software, which is this one. Okay, OpenBeam construction system, which make us describing the construction systems that make up the building envelope and interior partitioning system. Another thing, or in other words, we can say that this software can make us give some technical informations and configurations and other layers to the walls and construction elements in the building. Okay, the building that was created with SIPE architecture only contains basic parts: walls, doors, beams, columns, slabs, but those parts don't have technical informations. If we want to add those technical informations, we go to OpenBeam construction systems. We go to this software, okay? Here I opened another example, okay, to see the different parts that we can get, okay? So this is another example that was like updated to this software, but of course we can start. Sorry, I don't know if it's still charging from here. I'm going to check if it's still yes, it's still uploading, because the project is quite big, so it's gonna upload like 100 megabytes. Okay, so here we are going now to see this example, and then I'm going to show how I can use the building that I did with SIPE architecture here in the same software and in the next softwares. Okay, so here we have a closed platform to SIPE architecture. Okay, so the platform here contains the building that came with with the BIM model that came from the cloud, for example. Here we have the different floors. We can move between the floors. Okay, you can see here, I can move between the different floors. Okay. And then you can see that every floor contains exactly all the parts that was created on SIPE architecture, for example, or with another software. And then if I click, for example, on the wall, let's see if I can click on the wall, or if I can modify parts. Okay, for example, on this wall, give me the name. I went to addition, but edit here. Just a moment. I try to select the wall. So I clicked on a wall after clicking here. And then here you can see that I have different layers to create. Okay, so this is my wall that maybe was created with SIPE architecture, but from here I can change even the total thickness of the wall. And from here I can create different layers. Okay, let us see, for example, an example of creating the different layers. Here I can go to add. Of course, here I can change the reference, the description of the wall. If I'm going to create different layers, I can write the description and the construction characteristics. Okay, and then let me just remove my camera. So, and then here I can add a new layer. Of course, I have different fabricants, international fabricants here, so I can use them by creating an OBD database. Okay, but of course here I will have reference as well, comments as well. I can write here the name of the layer. I can write here some description or thermal characteristics. Okay, I can put the type of the layer, if it's solid, air gravity, vapor barrier. Okay, and here I have a library of different layers, but I can create it manually. I can put the thickness of the layer. I can put the density of it. I can add any characteristics I want. Sound absorption coefficient if I want. Okay, I can remove the density I can add some thermal parameters, okay, as the thermal resistance, specific heat. Okay, here I will have some suggestions. Okay, I can add here materials, for example, for the insulating, for the masonry, for the, so the software will give you suggestions. Okay, so if it's your first time use, or if you want to explore some materials, so those materials are from 𝐒𝐈𝐌 Handbook Fundamentals from 2013, 𝐒𝐈𝐌 Handbook. So all those materials here are officially international used materials. We have, of course, here the libraries in different languages. Okay, here we have air graffiti library, depending to some normatives. Okay, the same here for the other materials for different characteristics. So always you will find some characteristics. Of course, all this work can be, for example, if you created a wall and you want to send to your friend or to your colleague the thing or the work that you did in this part, you will have here the export possibility. Okay, you can export different layers. You will choose on your laptop where you want to export it, for example, on the desktop. Okay, and then you can just export a file. I need to put a name. The name of the file is repeated. Okay. Just a moment. Okay, I can export it from here to the desktop, as you can see. Okay, like the name is repeated, is telling me here. Even this one repeated, sorry. So I can export in desktop. And then if I go to desktop, I will see that I have my file here that I can send. So the other one, or you or yourself, can be use those files I create for layers. So I will have the different files from Cypher Architect, so I can use them the next time. I can put them on a file, for example, and then I can use them the next time. Okay. So this is in general the construction system, but except the different layers that I can add technical data to the wall. The work here is not only for the wall. The work here is for the slabs, for the doors, for every element in the building. Okay, I can add technical data. I choose which technical data that I can add as the thermal insulation, the sound insulation, the fire resistance. Okay, maybe fire resistance time. Okay, maybe I can add other data, and I can add the value of the unit and other technical data. If I want to add any technical data I want, I just put a reference, okay, technical 1, for example, or technical 2. I can add a value, for example, sound. Okay, I put the value of 4, and I put here, for example, decibels. Okay, so I add whatever I want. Okay, so this is in general the construction system software, the second software that we saw now. You see that, for example, for the window, I will have other standards to add. I will have even the same technical data here. Okay. For the doors, let us see the doors. You see that for the doors, even I can add other technical data, because the addition of the windows and the doors generally or mainly done on Cypher Architect, for example. So from here, we can add all the technical informations that we. So after moving from Cypher Architecture, we see, if you go back here to Cypher Architecture, we see that the exportation has finished. If I go back here to my account, I go to the BIM Server Center after creating the account. So I go to my projects. And here I will find the example university that I just created. I see that it contains 171 megabytes, and I see here that I have only one discipline or one software was used, which is SIPE architecture. If I click on it, I see here in contributions the different parts. For the moment, I have only one part, okay? And if I click on it, I will see here different files to download. For example, I can download the plans, okay? I can download the IFC file. Just to know, the IFC file is the 3D format of the file that you can use in any other software, okay? But we have other files to create the perfect 3D view, okay? So let us continue. If I go, for example, to another time to the construction system software, now I can use my building that I just created with the SIPE architecture. Let us see how we start a software with an already existed building, okay? Of course, here we can use after finishing the architectural part, because it's a part that help. I'm not gonna say that it's a part that completes the building, but it's a part that's gonna help in finishing the construction. So from the architectural, you can later do the structure, and you can later do the MEP. Okay. So here, the Open Beam construction systems, you can create a new project. Okay. And then you can accept. And then the first thing he ask you about is if you want to link your project to the Beam Server Center. Okay, so yes, we want to link your project, but now in this case, we are not going to create a new project because we already created the project with SIPE architecture. We are going to select the project that you already created. Okay, so here I'm going to log in again. Okay, and then I have my account already logged, and then I'm going to select the project. Here I have my different projects. So here, the one that I just created, example university, the owner is me. The last change was 11 minutes ago, okay? Educational project visible to all users, and the management, the collaboration for management just did close, okay? So I selected, I accept, and then here I will find where I was created. I will find the architectural part, okay? So I import the architectural project. And like that, I can continue working in my project. Of course, as I said before, it's not mandatory to move between all the different softwares. It depending to your need, okay? Maybe you need only the architectural part. Maybe you need to put the technical data for the building. For example, for this slab, I can put different layers for it. Okay, I can choose, for example, masonry. I can choose bricks. Okay, I can choose how I want to present them. I present them like that. For example, I can choose the thickness, or if I choose from the library, thickness will be chosen automatically, and then I can just create it. I can add another layer of 3 centimeters, for example, of, I don't know, of no, insulation, for example, of asphalt, or of floor coverings of rubber, for example. I don't know, anything. I can just give it like these symbols, okay? And I can put a layer of half centimeters or 60 millimeters. Half centimeters here. Okay? I can control the different layers from here. Okay. Sorry, do you have a question? Hello? Okay, so this is the way how we can use the building. So after using the building, of course, from the construction system, I can share my project as well. Okay. And now I'm going to show you the next part. So we saw the site architecture, we saw the construction system. We can see the open beam layout to create the professional plans after doing the architectural model. So this is the open beam layout. We have the possibility to create or to print the different plans. Just a moment, it's charging a little bit here. So if I go here, I can on PDF export those plans. I go to the desktop, for example. Okay, it's here. Okay, on PDF. And then I just print my plans. I will show you how we have the possibility to create the plans. But before that, I will show you what kind of plans we can get. You can, of course, create templates. Okay, we have a library of templates that you can create. You can upload photos. So the plans in the end can be created like something like that. For our project, for this project, okay? So you can see here, it's presented, but this is only an example. Okay, later you will control how you want to create your plans. You will have templates. So in exporting the models directly, you will have the possibility to obtain those plans. So how it works, it's very simple. You just upload the projects, and then you can create from here different sheets. I don't know why it's charging a little bit. Let me go out from the site architecture. Okay, so yes. So you can create new sheets, okay, or you can create a group of sheets. And then with those sheets, for example, go here, you can create 3D scenes if you want. Okay, you have a lot of types, or you have a lot of methods to to create the different parts of the building. I don't know, the software is moving. I have a small technical problem here. So we may go back to it later, okay? Because this one have a problem for the moment. I'm going just to close it. Okay, so it's not responding, as you can see. Okay. So here, construction system just exported. And if I go back here to my project, if I recharge the contributions, I can see now that I have two parts. Okay, so we have another software that we call the analytical model. Okay, let us see it on the store. Which is one of the architectural part that we have is the creation of the analytical geometric model based on the architectural model in EFC format. Okay, which is this one. Okay, you can create here the different surfaces. You can create the different elements. You have different options. You can here we have a lot of parts that you can create for the analytical model. Okay, you can it's not always used, but you can check the different errors here. If you have errors in the building, if you have parts that you want to modify. Okay, so all of them can be managed. And then, of course, we have the open beam site is for defining the initial conditions of project sites, including establishing the geographical location of models, managing different types of maps, entering topographical surfaces, parcels, and buildings, among others. So how it's gonna work? So you see here, I have different layers, okay? I have a layer from maps. Okay, I can download or upload here different maps. Okay, for example, I have here 3 examples. Okay, I have the 3 types of the maps. Okay, and then I can add some parcels or some spaces like the ones here. Okay, and then I can add some buildings as well. As you can see here, I have some buildings, but in this case, in the middle, I can import architectural models. Okay, so from SAP architecture, I can import from here, and then I can insert my model from SAP architecture on OpenBeam side. So I can put the location of my building, the latitude, the longitude, the altitude, okay? I can put the north, of course. I can put the different coordinations. I can even put an address. For example, this address was done on Spain. I can control the view options. So this software will make me put my building in this location. I have some topographic options here, topographic surfaces, okay? I can add points, I can points here for the topographical work, okay? So the software is done to put the location of the building or of the different buildings. But I think that if you already started with SAP architecture and you started with the building, you can just locate it from this software. You can upload the building from here, and then you can put the different locations. Of course, in uploading the software, let me connect again. In uploading the software, we will have options for geographic location and reference system. Okay. For the moment, I have to select the project, for example, this one, and then I can add the geographic location and reference systems from here. Okay, I can just modify, I can add it. Okay, so I can add it from here. Okay, or it can be added automatically as well. It's depending to some parameters. And then we will have another part. We will have the model checker and OpenBeam quantities, one of the paid softwares that we have, one of the softwares that we sell. Okay, so those 2 softwares are done. For example, the model checker is this one, and OpenBeam quantities. So the model checker is to check the different clashes between the different parts of the building, because I talked about today, I'm talking about the architectural part, but we may another time have a model from plumbing, a model from structure. Okay, so here we can see the different disciplines: structure, water supply installation, water equipment, vertical connections, sanitary systems, residential furniture, office furniture, HVAC, carpentry, and architecture. So all those disciplines are here present in this building. Okay, let us see here what we have in. You can see here that in the building I have different parts. Okay, let me show you. Here you can see that I have structure. This part is structure. You see the foundations. You see the furniture and the carpentry. You see the installations. Okay, all the parts. So here I will have issues, clash detection that it can be done automatically. Okay, and documents. Okay, for the issues, of course, here, for example, if I have distance, for example, the clash detection, if I have a clash detection between 2 parts, it will be automatically detected here, and you can select them, of course, to send it as a notification. Okay, for example, I can always send notifications. You can see here that in my account on the Beam Service Center, I have notifications. So I have here issues and requirements and suggestions. Okay, So I can send notifications when I am sharing my project, or I can send them during this software with photos and with comments. Okay, so this is the model checker or the clash detector software, and then I will have the OpenBeam quantities. OpenBeam quantities, which is a software that I can open the example of the same house, which is a software that calculates the budget of the building. It's quite advanced software to use. It needs several formation classes or one class to understand. Okay, if we open this example, we can see how we can create from here the cost database, the price bank, and then we can create the measurement tools, how to connect the prices to the different parts of the building, and then we can calculate the budget. Okay, you can see here that we have our model. Always we have the BIM Service Center part. Sorry, it's on Spanish. Just a moment. I'm going to close it. Okay. From here, any model can be imported to this software to just done the management part or the budget calculation from this software. You can see here I have the bill of quantities. It's a very advanced way of working, okay, and very modern. You can see that I have my building on 3D from here. Okay, I can just put it transparent, and then I can select any part, so it will take me to its price and whatever I want. Okay, here the price of this part, the price, the bill of quantities, the building. This is the cost of the building. So of course I can change the currency. Okay, so here I have different currencies. I have all the international currencies. Okay, so this is the OpenBeam quantities software that we can use even after designing the architectural model. Okay, so this is in general, in a very brief way, and very general way, the architectural part that we have on site and how we can manage and move between the different softwares. So I wish that it was quite clear, it was informative for you, and you learned about it. Okay, so I'm asking, I'm wondering if you have any question, so you can just ask me now, or you have any comment, or if you have any part that you want to see. Of course, I'm not going to receive for the moment any technical questions. So any general questions about the BIM, how it works, about how we can manage between the softwares, how we can create the building, if it's easy or not. So if you want to ask something, I'm here. Hello? I think that we have no questions. Raul? Hello? Raul, you there now?
Yeah. Is there any question, guys?
I think that the parts was quite intensive, a
Yeah.
lot of softwares at the same time. So
Well, but at the same time, very clear. So
I wish that I want to ask Mr. Fahim. He's the architect. I want to ask him if the parts was clear, if you want to repeat a part. So I think I think that they don't have any questions. So you may later send them the recording.
yeah. So let me. I will need you to put down the email. I have lecture for. Okay, perfect. No worries, Mr. Kashid. So I will need you to put down your emails so I can send you later the recording of the session.
Yes. Okay. I will send my email to WhatsApp.
Okay. Also,
So you can
any of
send
your
me the
students.
you can send me the recording later. No problem.
Perfect. Perfect. Any of
Okay.
your
Thank you very
students.
much for the efforts. Please continue.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Perfect. And see you in the next sessions. I will ask you to put down your emails here, or if not, you can share it with your students, Mr.
Yes.
Kashid.
Okay. Definitely. Definitely. But you can continue if you want. You can continue. No problem.
Okay. Perfect. So thank you very much, everyone, and see you in the next session. Thank you very much. Bekir.
Yeah. Definitely.
Well, thank you for your
As
time.
I'm a mechanical engineer, so I I am more looking forward to the next session, of course.
Yeah, sure. So for
Yeah.
the next session, we are going to see the mechanical parts, maybe in a general way, or maybe we are going to see one software.
Yeah,
I'm going to plan it with you. Okay, we may do an example, or we may see the different parts of the mechanical part that we have. Okay, and maybe you're gonna need to use this architectural part just to create the 3D model. It's very simple way. We have a small software that we call IFC Builder just to create the different parts to start doing the mechanical work. Okay, so we are going to see the next session. So thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for being here today. Wish you
Yeah,
and I wish you.
thank you very
good
much. Thank you,
afternoon.
Mr. Bekir, also.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Bekir. Bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Antonio.
Have a very good day,
Thank
guys.
you, Raul.
See you.
See you. See you next session.
Thanks a lot, sir.